Gina. Gina. Oh, I can't see your name tag when I'm F1. You're not wearing your mask, Gina. Good thing we don't have a gathering here. Oh, there's Madison. I can see you at the window. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, foamers and fomettes, welcome back to the third and probably final episode of building the Rhode Island Statehouse. Because it's basically done. It's nearly done.
I have a pressure plate addiction.
Yeah, she does. It's a problem. And so to that end, before we get started on the difficult things, I'll give everyone a little bit of a tour. If we go back out the Smith Street entrance, I think this is. Nope, this is the
other one.
Downtown entrance, yeah. I got turned around. The stateroom faces this way, not the other way. So, we've seen this before. This is the facade of our wonderful Statehouse. Done up as best we could. Maybe some extra embellishing details. I don't know why she's not wearing a mask. But you come in the main entrance from
She
Smith
also
Street.
asked everyone to pray with her.
Yeah. I didn't, because I like to get smited. But
and she held everyone's hand, too.
Gross.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. Why not?
You walk in here. There's the grand dome above your head. And then we can cover the many floors. We have tile mosaics here. This one's interesting. They're all interesting. This one's slightly chacoid. We have some stores that are for sale. The small ones and larger ones. And the corner store here. Just the smallest, but has lots of windows. And you have this, your larger department store-esque space. Same thing down this side. We go up to the second floor. We have office space for sale. And that's the same along here. These offices are the same principal dimensions as the stores below them, but they can be reconfigured to one's liking with added interior walls. You didn't do the fence wall in here. Or fence wall?
Leaf wall?
Leaf wall, yeah.
It's supposed to be in this one?
I don't know, you were putting it in the other ones. Or maybe that was just on the next floor up. Anyway.
On the other side.
Okay. Let me check.
So I did it in that one.
Nope, guess not.
No, I didn't think I needed to because those were... Go to the other side.
The other side?
Yeah,
Go
like...
there?
Yeah, did I do it in there?
I would think so, but those are the same size, aren't they?
These are the same size, yeah.
Okay, yeah, here you did. It's just on the other side of the building you didn't.
Okay. So
Not that it matters.
I mean, wait a minute. What's that? That one looks so much bigger.
It's not, though. It's the same size.
It's not. Okay, so I have to go one block in. What
Yeah.
side are you on?
I'm on the side with the leaves. We have two larger
Show
rooms.
the bathroom.
Yeah, we have two larger rooms which can be sold as either large stores, lots of office space, or I guess a large dwelling. This originally was 2 stories tall. You can peel off this wall and yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I showed off up here. But you can peel off this floor and just have a balcony up here and have a very tall open space. Which is what I was originally planning to do. But
Those are going to be expensive.
yes,
I'm going to make some money.
possibly. If you need to use a bathroom, they're here. They're on the second floor. There's a handicap stall and a regular stall. And a sink. Please wash your hands.
And you have children? You have children?
Yeah, if you have children, you have a changing station there. By children, I mean babies. I mean, you can change like a 10-year-old there if you really wanted to, but they should probably be changing themselves. The other thing to show off is the 2 large staterooms, or I guess you could say meeting rooms on this level. We have not really furnished anything, but here's one of them. The other one on the other side is identical. Lots of natural light, as one might expect. The next things to show off are the library and the stateroom, which we started in the stateroom, so I don't really need to go back over there, but this is the library.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I know you're on tour and whatnot.
What's up?
But can you double check and see if the office with the leaves, right? I know I had double doors in there, but on each side. Wait a minute. I never fixed this door. I never fixed these doors. That's what it is. I never fixed these doors. That's why it's throwing me off.
Mm-hmm. Well, as long as you know what you need to do. So this is the library. The library is a 2-floor space. Ryan Smith says the detail is awesome. Thank you. We put a lot of work into this. I think it's a really good blend of sort of our, what we wanted to see out of this, and the real floor plans that I was able to dig up for this building. Graham says Madison is quiet. Yeah, she is, but there's nothing really we can do about that. She's all the way over there.
Hi!
There you go. These can also be sold as offices. There's another one across the way. The skylight arrangement is slightly different. Honestly, Madison, I kind of wish the divvying up you had done over there in that office, you had done that in here and left that one as is. Because remember how you broke it out into 3 rooms?
Yeah.
The skylights make sense for that in here.
I mean, I can do that. You can destroy that if you want to.
We can deal with it later. Maybe it's just a thought for future. I just wanted to point it out.
Well, I want it to have this model as close to the real one as possible.
Okay.
I need you to help me figure out these doors, though.
Well, I'll start building the outside, the terrain outside then. Do you want me to go all the way to Learhorn? We'll have the airport done here first.
I need the fence. Can you wall that up?
Where?
The fence wall. Not the fence
yeah.
wall, lead wall.
Yeah.
Or should I not do that yet? Or do you want me to do that?
Hold on. You want the larger section on the side of the double doors, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, check and see what I did for the. I put doors.
There you go.
That should.
I might be backwards. This is the balcony overlooking the legislative space. You can also see the domes through the skylight, which I did not notice before, and that's super cool. Whoops, I just placed a door. There's also a roof access over here. So you can walk around on the roof. Lighting up this roof without it looking weird is going to be a thing. So the only ways down actually are from the 3rd floor, are either the staircases at the end or by the library. So I'll head back over there to show off one last thing before we get to solving the conundrums that we're here to solve. I already solved a couple of them, this being one. I believe it's over here. Yep. You go up a ladder. This is the only place in the building where you'll be able to do this. But I might make more spaces like this in the future. You can see down onto the dome there. And you've got the hatch out here onto the balcony that goes around the dome. It was kind of tricky to figure out a way to get people up here. But you can get up here. This is going to be quite a thing to be on the server. This space also needs to be lit up. East says, hey. Congratulations, East. I mean, hello. So we'll go up here, and we can go all the way to the very tippity top, almost. There's the independent man up there.
Can you actually walk around up there? Like, okay, but you can't actually walk around.
No, you can't walk around.
You should try and make it so you can walk around.
I could, but I think in doing that, I would have to push these out, and it would make the top of this dome more bulky than it needs to be.
True.
Anyway, that's the Rhode Island Statehouse.
For now.
For now. I already took some measurements so that we can build this thing on the server. But of course, things are going to get interesting.
What it's going to be.
Well.
Did we say what it was going to be?
Well, the spaces are going to be largely what I've been advertising them as.
No, I mean the Statehouse is going to be the train station.
Yeah, so that's one of the things. That's
They can't hear me. So.
it's one of the things that I need to get to is down here in the basement. Once I figure out where all the walls are going, I need to start designing a concourse for a train station. In exactly what form that will take, I don't know, but I know that I have a lot of work ahead of me in that regard, and it's best that I do as much of it as possible with the building sitting on top of it as I can, because otherwise I'm going to be trying to get it frantically done while we're accumulating the supplies to build the rest of the building. And I don't really want to hold up construction by trying to work on my train station. So,
We need to go to the other side. Why do we not have pressure plates?
I don't know, Madison, why haven't you put pressure plates everywhere?
I did. You just take them up.
I don't take them up.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Always do.
If I were to be doing that, you would have no pressure plates left. Because I'm not slow about my pressure plate removal.
I like it.
I know you do. I'm thinking of making this area maybe a little bit higher.
And in the real thing, we're putting pressure plates everywhere.
Grumble. Once upon a time, pressure plates were like my favorite thing on the planet. And I would put them on every door of my house, whatever. Now I'm just like, you know, I don't want to accidentally open the door. I don't want to do anything like that. I'm just going...
This is a stately building, and you should not have to open doors on your own.
Right.
That's my thing. You should be able to be lazy.
Well, stately building should ask for the best of everyone, as in put your effort in. It shouldn't allow you to be lazy, but in reality, it just doesn't allow you to make the choice. You never have a choice. Oh, you know what I said down here? Well, I can keep this area specifically as diorite. This is tricky. Getting this right. I mean, there's nothing much to support over here.
Can you help me figure out lights?
Sure. Let me toss that out.
Oh, I never got rid of it on this side.
Get rid of what?
The glowstone?
Oh. Yeah, so the question right now is how do we light up these hallways, which, for added effect...
Don't!
Well, see, we're spoiled...
No. Sorry.
What'd you do? We are spoiled by the fact that we've got pretty solid skylights.
And, you know, it's always daytime.
Well, that too, but,
oh my
you know.
God.
What?
It's so dark. Here, it's so dark.
I'm coming. I need to get up to the second floor.
Just teleport, I have cheats on.
I can do that, but maybe I want to use my legs. Oh, it's pretty dark in here. So, what do we do?
I still like the glowstone on the ceiling, but...
I think I only really like it in, what's the word?
In concept?
No, in,
Theory?
no, not that. I like it used with restraint. Looking at these walls and wondering why I did what I did. But the other thing we can do
Yeah,
is...
that's what I'm wondering. Why didn't you arch that and just make it like a
This?
walk? Yeah, why did you do that?
Why did I do this?
Yes.
There are alcoves like this in real life. And I didn't want it to be just a blank wall. The thing that just occurred to me is something we can do is adding armor stands in here because there are some statues and stuff. And we can put like colored leather armor on here. You know, instead of just regular old.
Put it on there.
Alright. Give me a minute to make some.
I am looking for lights.
Let's grab red dye just for the use of it. And let's do 9,8,7,6. Do I have? No. Don't have access
That
to
doesn't give any light.
crafting inventory.
Magma blocks don't give any light.
No, they don't.
They look like they do.
Also, I think it's amusing. I'm in your server, crashing your economy. Thanks, Dean.
I like that.
What have you done?
That's funny.
There, I put some red armor.
Oh, that'd be funny.
I know the audience is probably wondering what the hell's going on. Don't worry, so am I.
Oh, that works.
No.
And it's funny.
No. Not gonna happen.
What?
Actually, you know what just crossed my mind? Oh man, these things would be tough to get though. Sea lanterns are not an easy thing to get. But this is a ridiculous idea. If we did that on the edge of the skylights... Hold on. Let me just check it out with my F3. 10, 9... 9, 8, 8. I think... Is 8 dark enough to spawn mobs, or is it...
Hang on, I'll do this.
Yeah, I don't
Hang
wanna...
Hang on.
What? Where are you?
No. Easy spawns mobs, right?
What the heck? Oh yeah, easy will spawn mobs, but that's...
Okay. I just said it. Oops.
Alright, you crashed it.
I also set it to easy.
Okay.
So, we'll see if mobs spawn in there. In a second!
Alright, you have to put it back up.
Yes, sir.
Let me do a Google.
Well, we'll see where mobs spawn. I know they'll spawn in some of the stores.
I'll tell you what.
So,
Mobs, most of them spawn at light level of 7 or less. Okay, so that's good. Oops, I accidentally joined Missile Wars again.
well, I set the game code to easy.
Yeah, I can hear zombies walking around already.
Do you want me to change it back?
Nah. I've always done my creative work with mobs on. Some people call me crazy. But I don't mind it so much. And at the end of the day, if I'm building for survival, then I'm gonna want to have to, have my things mob proof. We're not keeping these here. But I know about 10,000 mobs are spawning in the basement right now. Hi guys. So yeah, that's a problem.
Sorry, I'll turn them off.
No, it's not a big deal. It's just like a problem. Like, oh, we need to light up the basement sort of problem. The thing is, we're at max spawn, because of the fact that, especially if we have daylight on, because of the fact that there's so little space for mob to spawn on a super flat world, they're all going to try and figure out how to spawn. Dean says, I think 7 spawns mobs. Thank you, Dean. They're all going to try to spawn in the dark spots they can, which are all going to be in the building. So it should be a pretty effective tool at finding where the dark spots are. Once we light up all the places that are obviously dark. Like,
I need help finding the light up the stores.
Yeah. If I'm going to be honest, I think the stores are just best served by proper use of torches. I've been going through and just lighting them up by slapping a torch or two on the walls. And it's not been the prettiest thing in the world, but it's definitely effective.
If I search light, it should give me all the stuff for lighting.
I'm not sure if lighting is a tag, so
No,
probably
it's
not. Oops, hit my head. So, if 7 spawns mobs, that means those hallways with the sea lanterns in the floor are okay. But sea lanterns are not easy to come by, and in fact, they're probably the most difficult thing to get in this building so far. Because sea lanterns are like you can get them in the little underwater things, the little abandoned ruins underwater. You can get them in the temples, and I think that's about it. Crafting them, you need stuff from the temples. Also, the only other issue with using sea lanterns in the hallway like this is now you're shortening the amount of wood you have. And while, yes, the building may be less of an ecological disaster because of it, it just doesn't make the floor look so nice, I think. But I want to know your opinion on this, because it totally works, and it looks pretty cool. You know, it's less of a sort of gross texture like Glowstone. I'm really not a fan of Glowstone's texture. And that means the skylights are still lit up even in the dark. The thing is, if I go downstairs, it's not going to work like that.
You can't place lanterns on a slab.
No, you cannot. Generally, the only thing you can put on a slab is another slab.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, come here.
1 second. Oh.
Why can't I put them on the wall? It would be hanging.
Lanterns you can only hang from stuff, or place on stuff.
That's what I'm saying. It would be hanging.
Hanging from what? Where are you? I'm coming.
Like, I can't place it here.
No.
It would be hanging though.
From what?
The wall.
You can't place them on a wall. You have to hang them from the ceiling.
Lanterns would look so nice though.
I mean, yeah, they would. They're certainly the high-class lighting. I'm wondering... No, we determined that this is the best look out of the 3 options.
Alright, so I put a torch on every wall, except for the back one. Does that look okay?
Let's see. It's not light enough, I think.
I don't like the torch on the back wall because it takes away from the occasional light.
Yeah. Well, in there, there was a spot where I couldn't even put a torch on a wall. I had to put it on the floor. That's the issue with buildings that have large interior rooms. The other thing, I mean, the thing you could do is you could just stick you could add a slab like that. It looks kind of silly, but then you can hang a lantern from it. Just saying. Yeah, I know. The other thing you could do is, and this is just adding a little bit of complexity, but it would work, is if you do a glowstone where you need light, obviously it's going to look silly. It's going to look like that in the floor of the store below it, or above it, or the room above it, which in this case I think is the Senate floor. Yeah. So that's less than stellar. But if you were to put carpet up, you know, an area rug and cover it, then it would work. I know we've been trying to avoid that as a solution, but
I think just torches is gonna have to do. I mean, for like,
oops. For what?
the torches are gonna have to do, and then the owner can light it up as they please.
Yeah, you figure the owner is going to be putting some more interior stuff that they can put torches on to get it off the walls or whatever.
Plus, if a zombie goes in there, it's not like it's gonna do anything.
What do you mean?
If something spawns in there, it's not like it's gonna do anything.
Okay, yeah. But you don't want, like, a creeper to spawn inside a store when the owner's not around and then they come back and blow a hole
they're
through.
in charge of keeping their store without mobs in it.
Okay, but, I mean, and that's all well and dandy, but I think we should all try our best to keep mobs out of the stores. Considering, you know, the alternative is something happens and some things get blown up and then other people have to deal with it, you know?
So we are the first people to build the Minecraft, as Minecraft. Did you tell them?
I believe so. I believe we're the first first people to build the status in Minecraft. I reflected it in my the description of last stream, which said that when you Google us, or when you Google Rhode Island Statehouse in Minecraft, the first episode shows up, so. And I like this, with the amount of work and progress that we've actually put into these, you know, in between the videos, it means that each individual video is a huge step up from the last. It's not like under construction where you're watching, you know, they're watching us build in what's effectively real time, and it's kind of a slog. You know, here they see us come on, they see us solve some problems, or, you know, wrap up a couple of things, and, you know, they get to see the building in whatever the state is, whatever state it's in. Usually, yes, there's a spider downstairs, or upstairs. I can't tell which. I think downstairs.
Turn it off.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna turn mods off.
Uh-oh.
Why?
It's gonna kick me out again.
No, I won't.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, I thought when you turned...
I did that by accident.
Oh, I thought it crashed it.
No, I hit save and quit the title by accident.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
So, I don't know if I mean, it's the best option, but I don't know if I like it.
What?
The lanterns.
Yeah, I am not really in love with them either, unfortunately. Even though they, you know, they are what they are. Honestly, the glowstone in this situation doesn't look half bad either. Hell, we might have to resort to that just out of the cost of sea lanterns. But, do you like that any better? Well, we're not using jack-o'-lanterns, so... And unfortunately, hanging lanterns in a situation like this just...
Hang on.
What's up? Considering one of those costs about an iron, this is a little overkill.
Yeah. Just for sakes. Oops, I broke something. The door.
I used lanterns pretty extensively. Oh, there's a torch here. In, the SAR mansion. So there's that. I mean, they are a pretty nice light source, and they definitely have an air of...
Oh, break the...
We can hang it from glass.
You can?
Yeah, turns out. Stop. We definitely don't want them every block. I just hung them in front of the pillars.
I mean, I was gonna say break the lantern.
Yeah. Oh, and I popped it. It's cool, they're just a little low. You know? That's the only thing I don't like about them. I mean, they're off-center, that's one thing, but they still light up the whole hallway.
Yeah. They're gonna hurt the stud. Well, we're in the mall. We're in the mall, huh?
Yeah.
This actually works. I actually really like it.
Yeah?
If you double it, right? You're hanging it from the glass? Okay. Right? If you double it like that, then I think it looks cool.
There's two reasons I don't want to double it.
I walk through it.
Yeah, I've been walking through it, but that's the issue. If you're sprint jumping, you can't. You crash into them. Oops. And there's a chance that you can get...
I didn't.
I mean, you can bounce off of them, but there's a chance that you can get caught like that. Like that.
Well, that's why you'd have to put like 2 here. So that way you're doing it the whole way through, so that you're fine. So there's not a big gap. I really like it because it kind of looks, I don't know, I think it looks cool.
I don't really like it intruding on the headspace like that. I would be okay with doing it on one side, especially in front of these pillars. Because then it's sort of like, these are the outside stores, and this is the inside store. And it's got the lights hanging from it. If only I could add something.
It looks better from both sides.
I don't agree. I think it's taking up way too much space when you put them on both sides. That's why I like the inset. All the things you had with the glowstone. Oh, you know what? Something just struck me. The glowstone of the windows. What did you think of that in the end?
I hated it.
You hated it completely? Okay.
Show me.
I thought you liked it.
Show me your plan.
My thought was, just do it in the corners. Or corners and dead middle. So it's not taking up much visual room, but it's still providing enough light to the hallway.
You'd have to do it on both sides.
Why?
In order for that to get enough light, you'd have to do it on both sides.
No, there's enough light.
I know, but it feels really dark.
No, doing it on both sides, I mean, you can, but when you get to these 2x2 windows, it's a little problematic.
Okay, I'm doing it on one side.
Well, is this your favorite of the options? I mean, we can still do it in the 2x2 windows. It's just taking up. It'll take up a lot of window space if we're trying to put it next to all the columns like it did. The other thing is we could do periodically stuff in the floor. Maybe just not. I'm gonna get rid of these because honestly I don't like them that much. Okay, go ahead. What you doing? I'm curious. I'm just gonna put Glowstone on the floor for now. Oh god. Stop.
No.
Alright, I am hearing you.
For me, it was like okay, it's like the inset, so it's like you got the thing. So like you instead of here and then the glass on top of it, right, pushing it out more, you pushed it in. I don't know.
Takes a lot of floor space out of the store, though. I mean, it's fun, but anywhere you can throw a jack-o'-lantern, you can probably have a glowstone and have it look better.
But I like jack-o'-lantern.
Some things have no place in this building. Jack-o'-lantern's a pretty hard sell. Unless we were to stand up a whole bunch of, unless we were to stand up a whole bunch of scarecrows in Congress. Let's see.
They have no place.
Where'd you put it? Ahem. Alright.
Scarecrow.
Actually.
Scarecrows.
Yeah, we don't need scarecrows in the stores.
No?
Although, honestly, having a scarecrow in, like, you know, just putting a couple
You
of...
didn't see the other one I did? Wow.
Where?
In here.
Yeah, I was just walking in here. But I was about to say, putting a couple of scarecrows in the corners of the store, just like a thing on a thing. A thing on a fence post, right? It doesn't light up the whole store. But it could be kind of neat as, like, these guys, this is taking care of the store in the meantime. Something we could, I mean, silly suggestion, of course, but something fun to do might be to, make some stores, quote-unquote, with pumpkins as the, shopkeeps. Well, what are we gonna do? These hallways are still dark.
It's either the lanterns or it's either the lanterns or the lanterns.
Yeah. The lanterns on the floor, the lanterns on the ceiling. Well, I would be totally okay with lanterns if they're just on the one side. I think that...
Ask them, what do they think?
Yeah, what does everybody think? For a lighting solution in this hallway. We've got...
The Prismian lanterns or I like the lanterns on both sides. Ask them if they like the lanterns on both sides.
The glowstone in the floor, the Prismian lanterns in the floor, the lanterns up here in front of the pillars, or the lanterns on both sides. And we'll see what anybody says. If anybody says anything. How many people are watching? We've got 3 viewers. I think I tuckered everybody out. Also, it's Wednesday night. You know. Tuckered everybody out with Rail. Okay. I mean, non-zero chance that I'm wildly against the grain here, but... I just wish I could cover these with something. I mean, if I put anything there, it's going to block the door. In both cases, it blocks the door.
It's all redacted.
It's all spoilers from the Royale, which will be going up hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, you know, I'm not even sure what I like better. I know there are a handful of options that I don't like. I don't mind just using torches, even though that's just lame, boring, you know, your bog standard. This is what we do in Minecraft. But
I'm gonna go with the poster.
into the call?
Maybe.
Don't do that while we're streaming. Excuse me. Dean, I don't know what Dean's doing. Oh, Jilly said he's going to live stream the Tamros Vale and Anaconda. Oh, that's fun. I'm going to have to tune into that. You know, I think of all these solutions, just the, I like these best. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of lanterns in the floor. I'm also not the biggest fan of hanging the lanterns off the glass. But I don't really see what choice I have. Did you break the glass?
No.
And it just ends up looking kind of awkward. Which, I mean, can be...
That's why I said just do both. Do it on both sides. It won't look awkward.
I think it looks very awkward with it on both sides. I think it takes up way too much room. I think it's just as bad as having that. Because, I mean, at least with this, you get a clean shot down this way if you're trying to sprint jump down a hallway. And you're also not, you know, you have a place you can stand where you're not under it. That's why. I think, you know, we've got 3 high ceilings in this whole building at least. And putting the lanterns in ends up detracting from that. So if we only keep them on one side, it's a little bit more... Oops, that never happened. A little bit more, I don't know what the word is. Sensible. Livable. Statehouse-isms. Oh, we've got 2 viewers now. Womp womp. So, did I put one over here? What's dark? The end store?
So,
it's very dark.
Alright, so tell me what you think of this. Where does that go, though?
That is the bottom of... I mean, most of it doesn't matter. What you can see is there.
What is this?
Shh. No ladder.
Okay.
That's this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and it doesn't even look weird. Perfect.
No, it doesn't. It actually looks fine.
I need to finish that one. It blocks off some of the... It blocks off your quartz, but that only matters on the outside.
Yeah, no, I'm perfectly fine that it blocks off the quartz. Seeing those on the inside is kind of awkward. Something I could do is sandstone slabs on the floors.
How does that look? It makes it look better to me? Right?
Looks fine to me. Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, we got these 2 alcoves that are kind of neat. I'd leave them.
It needs to be lit up. I didn't project lanterns in there.
I'm just gonna do that.
What, you're sending the daylight cycle back?
Yeah.
Why?
Why not? Then we'll get some moments in day and some in night. We don't have to swap it. Anyway, I gotta go back to the basement. I need to make like a... There's no such thing as like a teleportation point, but if I were to make one, it would be down here. So that I can just hop back to... You know, I can hop up there, build something, hop down here, build something.
That wall of jack-o'-lanterns. I like it.
Please, God, no.
Why is this like that?
Why is what like
No.
that?
Glass. Right? Yeah, because it's a store. No. Ew.
I don't know what you're doing.
Fixing it.
Okay, sure. Oh, whoops.
Hurt in a car wreck, call all 9 says try and use the sea light or the lanterns.
Okay, yeah. So, the prismarine lanterns.
Try to put lighting under carpeting too.
Yeah, we're trying to avoid carpeting, but that you know, it's a thought. If he likes the sea lighting or the under carpet method, that can work. I don't know. I think of the ones that we've come up with, the sea lighting is the sea lamps are one of my least favorite because of the expense and, frankly, the colors that they don't jive. They don't gel well with everything else in here. You know, maybe in the main area they do, but oh, you know what? That just gave me an idea.
That's gonna be expensive.
Oh, you're right, it is.
Then
But
don't
I'm
do
not
it.
gonna use much. Shush, I'm not gonna use much. I just want to light this up a little better. Honest opinion? Man,
I like them.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna try them in the corners instead. Because honestly, I don't think it looks that great. Or the corners as well. That I think might be better. Either way, it means that there's light up there, which is a good thing. Alright. I have a basement.
I'm gonna watch the sunrise.
KS1 Production says howdy. Howdy, KS1. Alright. Just not sure what to do with this. Purper. I use purper. Actually, the thing I could / should use, either andesite, or polished andesite, I should say. I can use mossy cobblestone slabs. That's a thing. I can use smooth stone slabs. Yeah, you know what? That doesn't look half bad.
You can't jump on top of the pressure plate. You can't walk on the pressure plate. Hey.
Yep.
Come here.
I'll be right there.
Do you like the table better there or here?
Oh, these are the options.
Yep.
Okay, I was like, here or where? Because I thought you were just building a 1x2 table. Oh man, that's a tough call.
I mean, the other thing I could do
Yeah, definitely there.
is... But then it would just look weird.
Yeah, no. Definitely just the single right there. Because that way you have it when you're sitting down, but it doesn't really impede the space. If you put it in the middle, I think it would get in the way.
So there's one other thing that I want to see. I'd like to block off one of these panes.
Block it off.
Yeah.
Why? What width? That doesn't look that bad.
Do this with it. Just wait a minute.
Okay. That's kind of neat.
You have a little sitting area.
Yeah. Alright. Not my favorite thing, but I think it's pretty nice.
I mean, only one's blocked off. It's not like it matters. I could honestly, you know what I could do?
What?
I could sell those two big ends as restaurants.
You totally could. It's just, you know, very few people have use for a Minecraft restaurant at the end of the day. It'd be cool, though. Alright, I am going
What do you
to...
think about my table color choice, though? And then we could put... And then I could put... Oh.
I think the birch table is fine.
Birch table with the spruce bottom?
Is that spruce?
Yep.
I thought that was oak. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Hang on, one more second. Then I could probably put... I want to figure out... You know, painting and then painting. Right? That would look okay? Looks like a little restaurant. Because I don't like that.
Yeah, okay.
Oops. I mean, the other thing we could do is just this. Hi.
What do you do?
Just punch the hole in there. And then you can just get out.
Yeah, exit through the hole.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Look.
No. Alright. I'm so afraid to disturb the tile.
Let's start the tile?
To disturb the tile.
Mm.
Like, I don't want to touch it at all. You know? If I'm going to go that way, I'm never going to punch my way through the tile. Because I'll be there for another hour trying to fix it.
gonna go put this on either side then. On just the mall sides.
Okay.
Don't think I'm gonna do it upstairs because you shouldn't have that up there.
No, probably not.
Like this is okay because it's a mall. You're supposed to have you're supposed to have seating areas.
Hello.
Yeah.
We're doing a stream. What's up? Alright, so where? Wait a minute. Something's not right here. I think I managed to mess up my.
I can't sit on this couch.
I think I managed to mess up this. Why is this door in the wrong spot? There is some sort of issue. Alright, so Madison, I found a store with a weird orientation, a weird situation. Just patch that up.
What is your weird situation?
We never fixed this wall in particular. I mean, that's as much my fault as it is yours, because I was supposed.
It had oak above the walls instead of.
No.
Because that was my.
The door was like over here, instead of in the middle, and I hadn't put the pillars in it. So I don't know why the door was off center, but I hadn't put the pillars in it. So my fault, but we just never managed to notice it.
We don't spend too much time in the mall anymore.
Well, yeah, we did get that done first, quote unquote.
I didn't care.
Alright, so we're gonna need a sign. I think. Dark oak sign. Just to cover that up. Oh. Okay. Anyway.
You were gonna fix this floor?
Fix what floor?
Floor in the mall.
What floor in the mall?
Floor where I currently am.
What's wrong with the floor? Oh. Shh. There's nothing wrong with this floor. There you go.
The whole hallway is like that.
Ah!
I watched you fall!
That was a strategic fall. Okay. How come? Nope, this corner wasn't done either.
I didn't put the paintings up.
God forbid. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright.
I didn't fall.
Which is a first. Except for the one time I tried to make you and you didn't fall. Alright. Alright. Back to downstairs. It's gonna be an interesting one. I'm still not entirely sure what to do with down here. But
I made them both the same!
good job. That was the goal, right? Okay. This is structural question mark? The thing is, the walls that are holding up the dome have got to be tougher.
We made all the corners the same paintings in the same alignment, basically.
Oh, good job. Consistency is key. You know what? I can make this one wide. It is the freaking basement after all.
Yeah, no one cares.
I'm trying to make sure I carry all the walls all the way down. As much as I can, anyway.
don't like this.
Don't like what?
The arch over here.
Well, I quite like it. No!
Because it takes away from the mosaic. Look. Mosaic is already surrounded by... It just literally blocks it off.
Well, it's so that you have arches all the way up this
Even more. Like, I'd want to move the mosaic over one.
Okay.
But then that would be too hard, and it's already not right anyway.
Yeah, this one's backwards. Oh! Wait a minute. Alright, we got one right. Two. Wait a minute.
No, we don't. We don't have any of it. There you go.
2, 3. Not quite 4. I'm going to go around.
There you go.
Try it.
Hey!
Yay, mosaic.
Okay, come tell me how that looks. That look better?
I don't really think so. Do you think so?
I think it's a better compromise due to the fact that it's not being squished by anything.
Okay.
I mean, just look at the other. Let's look at the other side. Hang on.
No, I follow you. Also, this one's a little messed up too.
Like this one's also being squished, so I want to move it over.
All right, let's move that. Move that sucker.
It needed.
This is the one. Every one of them is gonna have one of them that you have to place backwards. Try it now. Yeah, there we go.
Oh.
Mostly. Madison's having some issues getting up.
Hey, go on, get off the couch.
The couch will suck you in like that.
Get off the couch. Oh, because I'm trapped behind the coffee.
Alright, that's fine. Oh, I left a torch here. I also left prismarine on the floor. Alright, maybe that should be my job. Standardize these things before she gets back. Not that there's a problem with them being whacked out when she's here, but it's just one thing to get done. So this, and then more basement. Which the basement really is a thorn in my side, because I'm just not sure what I need. I know that... Alright, we're gonna get real railroady in a minute here. Once I get this done, things are gonna get real special, real foamy. Now let's do that and that. That, and that. Let's see, is that enough? Because those are higher up. Okay, that's good enough. Cool. Alright, over here. The fun thing is the bathrooms aren't really that far off from where there are bathrooms in real life. I was looking over the floor plan and wondering what to do with the extra space, and it just struck me like, oh, there are bathrooms here. Like, maybe that'll work. Maybe we can try to fit a bathroom or two in. And then we actually spend some time, like, figuring out the best look for toilets. Because you gotta have them looking right, right? You gotta have them. You can't screw those things up. Okay. So we've got that. We need to get the other side, I think, because I'm not seeing any hanging lanterns over here. Also, my things are broken. There we go. Alright, we just got prismarine over here. Let's get one there. Let's get one. Oh, wait, that's going to break when I... There are fewer and fewer blocks in Minecraft that actually respond to you breaking the block they're attached to, but lanterns are maybe the newest one. And when dealing with things, sort of a memory that things used to be like that, and now they aren't. You know, you used to be able to not put fences on top of other fences. That was a weird one. So you had to do shenanigans with other blocks to build like a stack of fences. That's just the first one that comes to mind, but that isn't even really what I was talking about. That's just an ancillary thought. This third floor I'm gonna leave. Third floor I'm leaving as torches. Third floor I think ultimately looks fine with torches, and it's supposed to be sort of the dingiest of the floors. Let's see. Get enough light over here? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You can walk through here. Oh, that area is nice and dark right now. I'm hoping that lights everything up fine. Sometimes it's tough to do the block light, you know, checking when you're on stairs or something. Alright, let's add those. We're going to scooch over there. That's fine. Check over here. This is not fine. We really just put in that ceiling kind of hastily. Maybe I could have used something else. Okay, something I wanted to do before we get railroady is show you the bathroom ceiling. Speaking of ceilings. It's regular diorite. It looks disgusting. Anyway. I was going to take the easy way and just punch through the window, but let's do this. Okay. So this is the building as it stands. We'll mark it out. Let's do times. We'll mark it out with some white stuff. Where is my diorite? There's a chicken. I hear him cracking eggs. So this is going to be an oversized model, isn't it? Oh, whoops. And apparently I can't even draw a rectangle, so that's kind of problematic. Okay, so this is the building. It is... I don't know if that's the right aspect ratio, but it is what it is. So, the thing we need is some rails. Where is rail? Now, currently, Leerhorn Station exists. There's a rail line that runs by the front of the building and goes into Leerhorn Station, which I will use this to represent. There's another rail line that comes out, although actually it's a two-track affair. This is roughly where the building is going to be. The other big diorite building is right there. So, that's how it is right now. We're going to build another model so I can reference back to that one. Get out of the way, chicken. Okay. So, we have the line to the line from Leerhorn. The line from the Narrows, I guess, would just be that one. The thing is, I don't necessarily want to cut Leerhorn completely out of the loop, so I might re-add a line to there. Okay, we got 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That's in the right spot, right? Yeah. So, the thing is, we might have a switch on this line that'll lead down to Leerhorn Station. So, that's not too much extra craziness. I do want signs that I can actually read, so... Okay. So, we're probably going to double track the line to thing. The thing that I want to come out this way is the grinder line. We also will have a line to Hillsgrove and a line to Panama. So, the thing that gets me is that the junction with the existing grinder line is kind of far off. If this is how it's going to be right now, this is going to be to Hillsgrove. To Hillsgrove. It's going to be to Panama. Panama. There's also the other track that goes here and goes to Hillsgrove. Barbie deleted comments. I haven't deleted any comments. This is Learhorn. I even type it like that now. So, here's the thing. Here's the thing. The situation is that currently one of these lines goes to Scully Under, and that's it. So, it's probably going to be the line here. This will be to Scully Under. Ignore the fact that my sign formatting is completely whacked out. Then this would probably be to the Eastern Terminal. Which, here's where my problem lies. The line to the Eastern Terminal, or to get from Hillsgrove to the Eastern Terminal, then takes 2 extra stops. Hillsgrove to here, here to the Eastern Terminal to Spawn. Sorry, to get from Hillsgrove to Spawn. That's a problem. That's not what I want. I might engineer some sort of interlocking here, and then run a redstone line back to Hillsgrove Airport, but ultimately this is what we have to do. The other thing I can do, which honestly kind of makes the most sense to me, is to bring these lines in and not have this out here, but instead have it connect somewhere over here. I'm not 100% certain how I feel about doing this. The thing is, ultimately it'll turn the grinder station into sort of a terminal station or a weird junction station. Non-zero chance I make it so that the grinder can't be directly accessed from here. But that's ultimately my dilemma.
What's your dilemma?
Working on rails. This is a scale model of the building. This is the way it looks right now, or will look. We have the building built, and those are the existing rail lines, and this is how it's going to look, hopefully. So, this is what I have to contend with. I have 1, 2, 3 destinations, 1, 2, 3 destinations. Not really outrageous, but the only reason it's so limited is because we're in the middle of nowhere. So,
well, log off and check the actual server.
Well, I have the area pretty well memorized. The issue is, the current question for me, not my dilemma, the question for me is, what's up with some of the routes to or near Hillsgrove, because those have been recently redone, and frankly, I'm not sure the station in Panama is responding very well to them. Now, because of structural constraints...
Oh, wait a minute, so is this going to go in Panama instead?
No. Because of structural constraints, I will be punching a singular hole here, probably. Oh, Furry is in here, so you can just communicate on that at some point.
We can also just add him on Discord.
Yeah. Perhaps it's a problem for... not right now, though. It's just...
While you're working, before you work on this, can you help me build my chicken machine in one of the things and see how big of a store I need?
Okay, I never actually got it to work, so give me a bit. I'm gonna need to figure this one out again.
Well, we need to add storage rooms.
Right. Right. So...
what do we want to make those out of?
Now...
hang on. I will go... you know what I'll do? Hey, you know what I'll do?
What's up?
I'll go up and I'll punch one whole block in the floor of each store so you know where each store is.
Okay.
Or I'll punch 4 holes, right? 1 at each corner so you know how big it is.
I have all the walls marked out down here.
Even for the corner stores.
Yeah.
I'll punch 4 holes in the floor just so that way you know.
Okay.
Is that cool? And then we can just fill them back in?
Well, sure, it's not gonna, cost anything. So,
Oops. And then that's right before this one right here.
one second.
Where I am.
Coming.
Can you see me?
Yeah, you're over here.
Right? That hole is right before the pressure plate.
Right.
So the pressure plate is there.
Mm-hmm. So we need to figure out how to get people in. So I'm going to do that.
Well, that's why I punched holes in the floor. So you know how big it is, so you know where people can get into.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Alright,
no, having...
this one right here, the pressure plate is right next to it. Hi.
Hold on. This is storage area number 1. This one was fairly... I mean, they all should be fairly straightforward. The thing about the Sarabang ones is I try to do it almost like a chain link.
That one, the pressure plate is right next to it.
Right there? Alright. I'm going to try to put...
This one as well. Okay.
Hold on. Hold on, one thing at a time. There. Alright.
This one as well. The pressure plate is right next to it.
Gotcha.
You see me?
Yep.
Okay.
Those 2 are corners next to the entrances.
The pressure plates are nowhere near these 4 holes.
Just need to figure out where I want to put the ladder. I think I'm generally going for the back right corner, so I'll move this one.
The pressure plates again are nowhere near the 4 holes. Well, this door could be cut in half.
Okay, Phil Swift. So, once I get these in, I'm going to have to light them up a second time. Hello? Once I get the ladder and you can plug the holes up. Oh, I suppose I can do that from down here.
We can just put a birch door over it.
Yep. I find it strange that the birch ones are the most industrial looking. Even more so than
I mean, they just match the sandstone.
That works too. That's true as well.
Right. The pressure plate is right near the other ones that I'm working with. I mean, the pressure plate's gonna be... It doesn't matter where the pressure plate is, huh?
I mean, as long as...
Look up in the holes just so that way you know where the pressure plates are.
Okay. Okay. So... Oh, right.
Some of these are right next to interior walls.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, exterior walls, sorry.
1,
Why
2,
does
3,
that
4,
only have
5,
a
6.
single door?
Okay, so I'm going to make the storage areas the same depth on both sides, because something that I hadn't considered is the fact that I'm trying to put a rail line down the middle here. And thankfully these walls are not super important down the middle, but it's going to be a little bit claustrophobic, I think. Oops.
Okay, so come to me. If you can come to where you can see me.
Hold up. Where are you? Okay.
Alright, so
Whoa, bugged out.
can you punch your way up? Right, so how do we want to punch these 4 walls? Do we want to just do it here?
Yeah.
Okay, because these are alcoves, so...
Yeah, this is the big one.
You can honestly put the ladder in one of these alcoves.
Yep. Or both of the alcoves, if I was really ambitious. You know what? These are on the end, so absolutely I'm going to be putting it in both of the alcoves. Because these storage areas are going to be... It's just going to be 2 smaller storage areas, and not 1 large one. Ah, I love it when it gets to this point. Honestly. The point where you've come up with all your constraints, and you're trying to work around them. That's why I love coming back to the diagrams, because it gives me something to work off of that isn't just an absolutely empty blank palette, which is fun, but I don't feel like I get my best work out of it if I'm not trying to solve some sort of problem. The thing is, then the thing that isn't great for Minecraft is the goal to make a building not hollow. So, yeah, real buildings, they definitely are quite far from being hollow.
Yeah,
Especially towards the bottom. Yeah, but the thing is, when you get to areas where you don't have a lot of idea of what you want to put there, sometimes you end up putting a lot of nothing. Areas where you don't care about, you end up putting a lot of nothing. And that's a problem because if you're trying to build a building that's remotely realistic, there are no buildings with that much nothing, generally speaking.
Why did these doors all sit?
I can't tell you. You know, buildings, especially big heavy buildings, they get thicker and tougher as you get towards the bottom. And so you end up having less airspace and more stuff. Whereas Minecraft, when you're building a basement, it's really tempting to just sort of leave it all open, because why wouldn't you? I mean, it's extra material to try and fill it in, to try and, you know, make a basement look good. What's the point? It drives me mad. And yet I'm totally guilty of it. She's just murmuring about where she's punched holes. Alright. Excellent. This area didn't quite finish. Or I didn't quite start. This is a heck of a column. Yeah, we're gonna spend oodles of terracotta. I'm gonna tear down an entire mesa biome.
I had my wall of jack-o'-lanterns, Ellis.
Yep. My best friends, the pumpkins. I learned about something yesterday called,
Hi.
What?
Hey.
What?
I figured out how to make this stuff smaller.
Which, where?
If we wanted to.
Yeah, how?
Leaves. I could just not do the window. Just not do it in front of the window.
Mm-hmm.
Although, it just looked weird.
I found out about this thing called forced rhubarb growing, which is you grow rhubarb in like absolute darkness, and it grows so fast you can hear it growing.
Can you sell it?
That's how a lot of the world's rhubarb is grown.
In Minecraft?
No.
Oh, I thought it was a Minecraft thing. That's why I asked you to sell it.
No. Just wait until they add rhubarb to the game. Then I'll be able to flex my knowledge of forced rhubarb. I don't really necessarily want to have a basement that's bisected by large structural members, but...
I want my wall.
The wall? I'm wondering, because now I'm going to have like a second sub-basement. Wondering if I will ever put use to that. Although in reality, it may not be there. We just have we might have a much more shallow basement than we do currently, which I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to.
My wall of my 7 of lanterns. Did you see my 7 of lanterns?
No. Okay.
Can I have that?
Sure. Sure.
Yay!
I won't tear it down right now.
That's fine.
The communists have taken over an area in Seattle, Washington. Overthrow.
And then you build that up, right? Like that.
Why is it always Washington that gets the butt end of the stick? Communists have taken over Seattle. There were those crazy, like, Mormon, or whatever. I don't remember if they, I think they were Mormons. They took over, like, a wildlife preserve. I think that was in Washington, or maybe that was in Oregon. But if it was in Oregon, that's like keep Portland weird, but on a new level. Keep Portland imperialistic. Interesting. Communists.
Oh, I didn't punch walls.
It's been a while since we had a good old communist uprising, huh?
Sure, I punched holes in every store.
I'm gonna have to figure out how to make these look okay. I'm probably gonna build some sort of large vaulted ceiling.
I don't figure out these doors.
What's wrong with the doors?
They don't all match.
What does that mean?
There's a single door for the big store and double doors for this store.
Why is there a single door for the big
I
store?
don't know. Is it because it wasn't even? It was even?
Yeah, it's because it's centered.
Okay. I centered this one.
On the other side, we have 2 doors.
Oh, can you put? Do we need 2 doors? Yeah, we should have 2 doors.
Do we need 2 doors? No. No. Does it look better than one single door in the middle of this giant storefront? Yeah, probably. Hey, you gonna do your thing in here?
What?
Before you forget and accuse me of breaking them?
What?
You know, your thing.
The leaves?
Nope.
The pressure. Oh, pressure plates!
There you go.
That's my thing. I love them. There are some not in this store. You break them.
Oh, God.
You always break them.
I haven't broken any pressure plates, I swear to God, because I haven't been messing with floors at all. I've been building walls. I didn't break the pressure plates. I didn't lose your slipper. Or flip-flop or whatever.
It's a sandal.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
flip-flops.
It's not a sandal. Or as the Aussies would call it, a thong. getting the basement floor in proper, the proper basement floor. If I had it raised up by one, it wouldn't be a problem to have this rail line going through the middle of everything, but, you know, I really like the idea that these are very high-ceilinged rooms down here. Mostly so that if I had done offices, which I had forgotten about the storage areas and was about to do, you would be able to see over the tops of cubicles by looking in the windows.
You were gonna do offices?
That was the first thing that came to mind for this area because I have a very vivid, you know, memory of looking in one of these windows. I'm pretty sure it was on the Statehouse or it was on a similar building, and looking in like this and just seeing the tops of cubicles. Like you could see into everybody's stuff. It's been going on for 3 days now. How long do the Mormon guys have that nature reserve? I want these two to compete. I want the Seattle communists versus Mormon guys, Mormon lunatics. I don't know what to call them. These are my two teams now. We're gonna make a league. What are the other ones? The Philadelphia people who destroy signposts when their team wins.
I think it'd be funny to move it and grab to the basement.
That would be kind of funny.
The basement of the Statehouse. Or just move it into the mall.
That would be nice, but I can't do any of that because you need to be in adventure. So nobody's messing with any of the mechanisms. It used to be under spawn protection, but that became problematic with the buttons and everything. So it ended up being that,
You mean it became problematic with the buttons?
like at one point I think you could press buttons when you were spawn protected, and then you stopped being able to do that, or something like that. But you know you have to press the buttons to summon a new villager. Sometime. I mean, you don't really have to do it anymore because the limitations of custom villagers have changed. They've expanded substantially. But,
Yeah, you didn't.
it means that you don't have to refresh the villagers nearly as often. In fact, I would wager that we may never have to refresh the villagers. So, while it's important to be able to refresh the villagers and press that button, it's not the most critical thing. But as that has changed...
Hey, Alex.
Yeah,
This helps you,
what does?
right? So you have this blocked off, right?
Mm-hmm.
For your storage area, as a storage area, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have this single pathway out, because you said you wanted people going in a straight line this way. So having the storage areas helps you. It creates a giant hallway.
Yeah. It's just following these walls down, so you're right underneath the hallway that we already have. Thankfully. So it might have been screwed up. It adds constraints. My favorite thing.
Push this door out one.
I can't.
Then you need to, because I can't put a pressure plate.
Oh, heaven forbid. Yes, you can. This is the basement. Nobody needs luxury down here.
Need.
Yes, I love the basement. It's where I come to think. Smell that must. Alright. Scoot Sean back over here. Same deal. Punch out these columns and stuff for the railroad. Down we go.
I gotta figure out which store I want.
Yeah. You can take the most expensive one. It'll be the same price as any other.
Well, I think what I'm gonna do is I might actually take this big one.
Which big one?
The one I'm currently in the basement of?
We need to label these. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because if I want to do what I wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
then I'd need a 2-door store for that.
Yeah. You'd also want to replace those doors with iron doors. Or, well, some of it, anyway. Maybe just the outdoor. And have the indoor lead into an area where you can put the money in, so that you're not messing with the exterior wall of the store.
That's what I gotta think about. Right? So, what I think I might do, because the middle of the store is right in the window. So, how big of a space do you need to build that machine?
I don't know yet. I never got it to work.
How big of a space do you think you're gonna need approximately? Because I want a small space, because like I said, I want to have the store, have the butcher in it. Like I want, as the rule, you have to have the workspace and a bed.
Mm-hmm.
So like I want to have, like, just for material's sake, right? You're supposed to put another. Are you gonna put another storage area here?
Where?
Another ladder here? I'm trying to talk to you.
Yeah.
Are you putting another one here or no?
I wasn't planning on it, but I can.
Alright, don't then. If you're not planning on it, then don't.
Okay.
So then, can you replace the block?
Okay.
While I demonstrate something, if you want to come up. Like, you know, if I separate it here, right? And then you, like, this, if this is the area for the machine, then you have an iron door here, right? Or you walk in, right? You walk in, here's where your iron door is. You insert the money on a chest that would go here, right? You walk into the small space, take your chicken, walk this way. Walk through the iron door, and here's your butcher. Or, you know, or walk through the other door. There's your butcher and the bed behind, you know, maybe this countertop or whatever. And then you walk out the door.
Yeah.
That way, you can still get to the butcher. You just don't get your stack of chicken.
Right.
But I need to know how much space you need.
I don't know how much space I need yet. I'm trying to finalize everything down here, and then I can start really thinking hard about the implications of the chicken store. But this is certainly, you know, this is the, well, everything's done except. This is the except. It's a real hard except. But I know I'm not going to be able to wrap it up tonight, as we're running down the end of our time here, and at least we have some pretty firm ideas. Oh, it's Joe. Hey, Joe. At least we have some pretty firm ideas about what we've got to do going forward. So, you know, I think I'm fairly confident that looking at everything we've done so far and looking at everything down here I've done today, I'm fairly confident that I can mark things out to an extent, excuse me, that when we start building it, there will be very few surprises. It's a shame you just joined now, Joe. We're running down the end of this thing, but check out episode 3 of Minecraft Dungeons with Joe.
You're dead.
Yeah, you're dead. Season 3 of You're Dead. There's nothing you're dead about Minecraft Dungeons. Because if it was, we wouldn't be playing it probably, because we're bad. Although with Joe, we're pretty okay. We get with our powers combined, you know? So it's a fun game. Need to get back to doing more trains content, but Minecraft content's always fun. Especially something like this. This is my passion. This is my art therapy. Putting my creativity into this building. It was a fun one. Yeah, it was a blast. I can't wait till we get all 4 of us. Next episode, we're adding a 4th. Spoilers. But we will do the other hidden level. Hopefully, we will all stay together. A little.
Hey.
Yeah.
Just for show. I'm not actually going to use leaves. What?
Damn it. Losing control. Hello.
What do you think?
Oh. Yeah, no, it'll...
For now...
Something like this.
For now, I'm just going to put a button here. Thanks. For now, I'm just going to put the button here, and I might have you move this over to the... Nah. I'd take it and put, you know... Oh my god, yes! No, I'm kidding.
What?
Alice.
What?
Alice.
Yeah.
Nah, I might take and put, like, a...
Pressure plate?
No, block. Like a do not enter block.
Gotcha. You could also use an iron trapdoor.
I am.
But operating the iron trapdoor takes a button or something, and I don't really... You probably want to keep as little redstone in there as possible. Yeah, because anything else could interfere with the other stuff.
Well, so there's only one way in. You know, you put your food in there and then you leave.
Mm-hmm.
Then you grab your food from the other side. I think it could also be much smaller than this. Probably.
Yeah.
But you just need your room, which is why I have that.
Yeah, I need room primarily underneath it.
Plus, you can stare out the window for a minute before you leave and go see the butcher.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to have an iron door here so you can't get back in.
Yep. With a pressure plate on only one side.
Or the button.
Or a button, but a pressure plate would be easier because it'll transmit redstone signal downward, which I can use to reset the redstone system for the next customer. Unless you just want to put a button on the floor for no good reason.
So what? Place the iron door like that and then with a pressure plate in front of it?
Yep. It depends on how I want to have it do, but it's going to be an interesting construct no matter what. Now this is starting to feel more like something that's a little bit more built and a little less empty.
You know what I'm going to have to do?
What?
I'm going to have to do it... like that.
Like what? Why?
Because it looks bad with the leaves or whatever I'm going to put there. So for now, it would have to be like that. Because it's, you walk in... I mean, I'd like leaves. Leaves are airy and whatnot, but and it makes it feel a little bit bigger than it is. And walk in, get your stuff, leave. This is the only actual storefront. That is not a storefront, or it's not a proper storefront.
Right. The thing is, you're probably gonna want, instead of having a button. Well, you said the button was temporary.
The button's temporary because, like I said, you're inserting John Bucks.
Yeah.
Walking in a chest is your stacks of chicken, however many you put in there. Now, can we get it to know how many John Bucks it was put in there? So, like, if someone put 10 in there, it would produce 2 stacks of chicken?
Hypothetically, but I'd need to build a sorting system to parse out the John Bucks, you know, to figure out what did you put in. And then, you know, having one option is going to be difficult enough. I'm not sure about having two. I would just say keep it simple. You put in a certain amount, like a $5 bill, you know, exact change only, and then...
Right, but what if someone puts in a 10? They should get 2 stacks of chicken out of it.
Yeah, but unfortunately, without a much larger redstone machine, I'm not going to be able to do that. Because you'd need to build a sorting system into it, which, I mean, sorting between a couple of items is not so bad, but you just end up building more mechanism, and I think it's already going to be tricky enough to get it in there. Somebody with much better redstone skills than I probably already has this, you know, problem solved and has already figured out how to do it, but I don't, and I haven't. So, it's going to be the kind of thing where, for starters, I want to keep it as simple as possible, and if so comes the time that it makes a lot of sense to add another one, you know, if I've figured it out to get it in a small enough space that makes sense, right, that I have plenty of extra, then maybe we can add something like that, but a money counting machine of any description is going to be a real task. More than just, oh, is it a $5 bill? Then dispense chicken. If somebody doesn't put in a $5...
That was.
If somebody doesn't put in a $5 bill, it's going to gum the system up, so it has to be exact change.
That doesn't look good. That blends in.
That looks weird. It looks like... I don't know what it looks like.
I like the leaves better.
Yeah, me too.
I think leaves are good non-structural walls.
Yeah, I would say so.
But I don't think leaves would be appropriate at this point.
No, probably not. But, and I would say something like iron bars, but the issue with that is...
Doors.
Yeah, just doesn't look good. I just need to know where I can't put doors. Explicitly can't.
Do you finish punching the holes in the wall?
In the wall?
I mean, I punched all the holes in the floor for you.
Yeah.
You finished all of those?
Let me check to make sure everybody has a ladder. That has 2. These each have 1. That has 1.
That looks good, actually.
What do you use? Just so I can visualize it instead of going over there.
Oak wood, but it's like stripped.
Oh. Yeah.
But it's like the planky kind.
Lanky kind.
Yeah. It might not.
Is it stripped oak wood?
I don't think so. Is it? I don't think so. No, it's not.
What is it? Just regular?
Regular.
Oh. So, by planky you meant barky.
Yeah. It's not log, it's wood.
It is log.
No. Because there's oak logs, stripped oak logs, and then oak wood.
Oh, so it's...
There's 3 different...
Oh, it's the... Oh, okay. It's the bark block. Got it. Making sure everybody's got their ladder.
I'm just gonna make this for a second and see how. Petrified oak slab. What is the difference?
Petrified oak slab is a leftover from very early in the game when oak slabs did not burn. And so
there's no difference.
There's no difference except you can't get a petrified oak slab in survival.
Why not?
Because they're basically just a remnant of a weird time in Minecraft where some things didn't burn up like they were supposed to.
How does that look from the other side? Hey, tell me how this looks from upstairs. I don't think it'll look good, huh? It'll be in the floor. Never mind.
Filling in the corners.
Just gonna have to stay like that. Okay, fine.
Oh.
You press the button, you come in, you grab your shit, you walk out.
Grab
Hey.
chicken.
Look, it looks good.
Good. Alright. Let's get rid of those for now. Huh. Yeah, so lots of problems solved so far. I haven't
I'm gonna go put birch doors around them.
I haven't figured out consistency yet, but oh, that's interesting. I forget the bark blocks have such contrast. Oops. I think they make for nice interior walls, I suppose. They've got a lot of texture on them.
Can you fix this door too?
What's up with it?
I think it should. Shouldn't it have the door here and the door over there? Does it look okay with the two double doors?
This looks okay with the two doubles, because this is an even number. You could switch it around, but you don't need to.
There's that one. Can you help me put the birch things along? Can you do the other side of the wall? So I got this. So I have this hallway. Yeah, if you can do that side, I'm gonna go to the other hallway.
Okay. Did I mess up this one? Oh, I just didn't put it in yet. Hold up. There. Oh, whoops. Bring it one over. Although, frankly, I'm not certain about this one.
We can fix it all later.
Of course. You want to get it right the first time. I'm talking about this particular wall, which all sense says it's going to end up too thick.
Why is there still a thing?
But it doesn't
Why
really.
Alright, so here's my question to you.
Yes.
Some of them have two. Is that only the big one along the wall?
Yeah. The only ones that have two ladders are the big ones on the outside, on the edges, the ends of the building. The reason for that is that the storage area happens to be bisected by a train.
And it's going to have a wall of pumpkins, at least in the creative world.
Okay. Sure.
So my chicken store looks okay right now.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to be enough space for you?
I'll probably take up most of the basement, unfortunately, but it should be okay.
I mean, the butcher doesn't need any space.
Yeah.
And I just need room to store all the chicken. Because what I might do is I might take my chicken farm out of my house. I might not have it at the house anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I just move it here.
Well, okay.
I wanted you to build me a chicken machine.
Yeah.
So if you can build me a chicken machine that just drops chicken, throws the eggs, and drops the raw chicken into a chest.
Yeah, no, I we'll see what I can do, but I don't think it should be on site here. I think it'll take up too much space. I don't think it'll be able to be on site, I should say. But I can definitely build you something. Alright, so this has a ladder, that has a ladder, these two have ladders, that has a ladder. That has its ladder. This guy has its ladder.
But I do really like this.
Good.
And I might actually take up the 2 stores. I might actually take up the other one that looks just like this on the other side, and do like something beef.
Something I definitely need. I need like a fireworks store on the server. I miss little Chris's fireworks shop. That and well, it's about the effort required to make the things. The other thing that I wanted a good store of was a good potion store. John used to have the brewery of brew, and that was the best.
Well, you get a free store. Which store is yours so I can mark it?
I don't know yet. I haven't even thought about what I want to put in it, so don't worry about it yet.
You can either get a store or something else.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
an office.
I don't exactly feel like there's going to be a rush. So, I may get an office, or I may, you know, snag one of the spaces to use as some sort of dwelling, because, let's face it, my house in Old Town is getting kind of small. I feel like I'm always running out of space in there. And I can't really add anything else. And I accidentally drove a rail line through my own basement twice. So, I'm starting to get to the point where my home is impractical.
So you're gonna leave it?
I may start, may not start over, but I may make a new residence somewhere where I could spend more of my time. Or, you know, have more storage.
I mean, then you could upgrade skill. What if you move out of your house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Move out of your house in Old Town, and then, you know, find a new place of dwelling. You could turn Scully Under into an up-tech thing, into a high-tech station.
Maybe.
And use your house for that.
I could.
There'd just be no more bone tunnel.
Yeah, I could expand it into my house. I'm still not sure if that would give me quite enough room to do everything. Because
No,
that's...
I mean, like, move out of your house.
Yeah, no, I'm saying enough room to do everything that the station is required to do. If I were to give it all the tech. You know, Scully Under, with people sort of migrating to slightly more distant places, I have been trying to diminish the role of Scully Under in the subway system, because it's such a clunky, compact, problematic station. But hey, we'll see how it goes.
I'm very happy with the way this turned out.
Good.
So we're done?
I think we're done here. I think we're wrapped up. Next time you see us, if we stream it again, it'll probably be figuring out how to fit this thing on the server exactly. So, that's going to be fun. See you guys whenever we do. Good night.